Welcome, everyone, to our YouTube page, St. Paul CYF. Pastor James here, Associate Pastor for Children, Youth, Families at St. Paul Lutheran Church in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. And in this video, we are going to be going over our fall events. So what things we can look forward to in our worship life, what programs we have for children, for youth, and for families, and what we have for educational opportunities coming up in the life of our congregation. And so with that brief introduction, we'll jump right into it with our fall worship calendar. So these are some of the Sundays you can mark on your calendar as big events in the life of our congregation. We've already done Back to School Sunday. That was actually this morning at worship, and this video will be premiering later this evening. That was a great time of blessing and opening our academic year. Our next big Sunday is on September the 12th. That is our fall restart and God's Work Our Hands Sunday. Plan to stay afterwards. Bring a change of clothes that you might be comfortable with. We are going to be having several service opportunities after worship for us to participate in. So children, youth, adults will have something for everyone to dig into to serve our community that Sunday. Now on the 3rd of October, we're having Homecoming Sunday. We'll be bringing back some of the former clergy to preach and help lead worship that day. And then after worship, we're going to be having a church picnic. Now, we haven't settled on an exact location for the picnic yet, so stay tuned and look for more details. But we will be gathering for a church picnic and having a wonderful Homecoming Sunday that day. In November, we have a big month. On the 7th of November, we will have All Saints Sunday, and we'll also have recognition of First Communion. We haven't had a First Communion recognition in a few years because of COVID, and so we're really excited to teach our young kiddos about communion and what that means and how to do it, and we'll be celebrating with them their First Communion on the 7th. We also have a Youth Sunday that month. That will be on the 21st, so our youth will help lead worship. I will be preaching that Youth Sunday, but we will have and hear from a lot of our youth that Sunday. Now, something new that we are starting this fall is called Faith Stepstones. So Faith Stepstones are a way for us as a congregation to journey with our children as they grow in faith. So we'll have a different Faith Stepstone once per month, and you'll see the ones right here to your left on our flyer here. On the 19th, that is when Sunday school will officially open, and we'll have a blessing and a commissioning of our Sunday school teachers and a blessing for our learners that Sunday during worship. Now on the 10th of October, our Faith Stepstone will be for kindergartners and first graders, and they'll be helping us lead the Lord's Prayer that day. So they'll be working hard to memorize the Lord's Prayer. More on memorization in a bit here. On the 7th of November, we've already talked about we're going to be having First Communion. That's typically for our second graders, but it's at the discretion of your parents. So if your child is ready to have their First Communion, that can happen anytime, but we traditionally do the education for second graders and have a public recognition on All Saints Sunday. Finally, in December, on the 19th of December, we'll be having our children's Christmas pageant. So that will be for all ages. A stepstone that we celebrate every year is our children telling us the Christmas story. So moving right along to some other opportunities we have this fall, we are bringing dinner church back. We haven't had dinner church since Lent of 2020. That was when the pandemic really started, and we're bringing dinner church back once a month. And so this will be on the first Thursday of every month. You can mark your calendar. It will be from 6 to 7 p.m. And one thing that I am going to be doing with our elementary school age children is hosting what I am calling Elementary Power Hour. So I'll have a devotion and for our elementary schoolers that evening, and we'll play games and stuff like that on our youth wing in the third floor. So that should be a good time. Mark your calendars for dinner church. Good food, good fellowship, and worship as well. So this brings us to adult education. We're having a lot of new offerings this year that we're excited about. So as always, you see that Wednesdays at 10 a.m. we will be having our Bible study at St. Paul that begins back after Labor Day in September. So some new offerings then, besides Bible study. On the second Thursdays of the month, Pastor Allison will be gathering with the women of our church for what she is calling Women, Wine, and Word Scripture Study. So that will be a good time. Look for that on the second Thursdays of the month. And guys, don't feel left out, because on the fourth Mondays of the month, Pastor Allison will be hosting Beer, Bibles, and Bros, a scripture study as well. So look forward to those two opportunities. Those are new. And returning, or carrying on rather, on the fourth Thursdays of the month, we are going to continue with our book club. That has been a great time for all involved, and we encourage you to grow in your faith, to seek out any of these educational opportunities if you are an adult learner in our congregation. Now, what I'm excited for, Sunday school. Sunday school will be back on September the 19th. We will hold Sunday school after our fellowship hour. So fellowship hour will be just after worship. We'll bring back our Sunday school bell, getting folks ready to head out and go to Sunday school. And we have all of these offerings. Our preschool Sunday school will feature the Frolic curriculum. This is something that we've been using over the past year that we have really liked. And the lead teacher for that is Cindy Ross, as always. So she will be back. We will be back with preschool Sunday school, and hopefully that will be a good time. It'll be in the nursery. Now, for our K-12 Sunday schools, we're actually incorporating and trying something different out this year. We're going to be going with a curriculum called LIFT, that stands for Living in Faith Together. So K through 12 will feature the same curriculum with different discussion questions. For each age group, we'll be having 3 separate tables of folks that will gather. One table that will be K through 2, another that will be grades 3 to 5, and then another that will be grades 6 through 12. So we'll start Sunday school together with prayer and an opening gathering activity. Sunday school will then break off into those age groups. They'll serve one another a meal. They'll have scripture study and a discussion questions together, and then they'll play some form of game or have some form of activity before we gather back for closing song and worship. So we're really excited about this opportunity, and we do still need teachers. So if you are feeling led or called to serve as a Sunday school teacher, this curriculum should be low prep. It's one of the reasons why I chose it. Low prep, high reward, and we'll get our kids all together and growing together in their faith. Now, for adults, our Sunday school classes will be coming back, and we are actually adding an adult offering for Sunday school. So Pastor Allison will be leading weekly a young adult / young family forum class. That's going to be taught by Pastor Allison, and that will be in the parlor. And the Augsburg Adult Sunday School class and the Forum class are going to be joint this year. That's something that came together during the pandemic as they combined, and we're going to keep that on this year and see how we like it. So that will be co-taught by Sue Williams and by Lynn Hershey. Finally, one last thing to mention here about our Sunday school lineup is that we will be developing a children's choir that will be led by our organist Ian, and they will meet up on the 3rd floor with him actually during fellowship hour. So from 10:15 to 10:45, he'll take all the kids up and work with them on some songs, and they'll be singing actually during worship. One Sunday a month, they'll have sort of a children's choir anthem for us. So we're really excited about that. Now, another new thing, so many new things that we're doing this fall at St. Paul. We are starting what is called the By Heart Challenge. Now, I shamelessly stole this from another congregation. I saw it and really liked it. And what this is a memorization challenge for our children. So, if you are able to memorize your assigned portion based on your grade level and age, at the end of the fall, you will be getting a ticket. You'll be receiving a ticket to a special party that we'll have at Hickory Falls. So a little bit of incentive there for our children to memorize some of the parts of our scripture and liturgy. So you see here, our preschool and kindergartners will be memorizing the Lord's Prayer. Some of them have already done that and are ahead of the game. Our 1st through 3rd graders will be memorizing a small part in Matthew's gospel. And this part is really the love the Lord your God, love your neighbor passage, something that's already floating around in our heads a lot. Anyways, the 4th and 5th graders getting ready for confirmation in a few years will go ahead and memorize the 10 Commandments. And the 6th graders, those starting confirmation or about to begin confirmation, will go ahead and work on memorizing the Apostles' Creed. So present this to me by December 1. You can either film yourself doing it on video or just come to me in person or schedule a time and present your memorization, and you will be getting a ticket to our party at Hickory Falls at the end of the year. Now, on to our programming by month. We're going to be having a lot going on for both our family programs and for our children's programs. So you see on the right of the screen all of our family programs. On September the 25th, we're going to be having another block party for the community that will be from 3 to 5 p.m. And again, we'll have crafts and games, and we'll also be bringing ice cream out for the community as well. In October, we have a lot going on. I'm going to be arranging different trips with different age groups to corn mazes. I'm probably going to go to all the corn mazes. But our elementary schoolers are going to be traveling to Maze Quest on the 2nd. On the 3rd, we already mentioned our church picnic. And on the 9th, I'm going to be taking our preschoolers to Smizers for a gathering as well. October 31st, that is Halloween. We are going to be doing a trunk or treat in our parking lot here at St. Paul, and we'll get you out of there early enough for you to go do more trick-or-treating around in your neighborhood as well. But this is going to be a contest. We're going to be awarding prizes and having a voting method going on. So best car, best costume, all of that stuff. There's going to be bragging rights and prizes involved for our trunk or treat. So we're hoping to get some more folks out to decorate cars and to witness to our community as well. Now, on November 21st, our event for families is that we're going to be taking a trip to Hershey Park Candy Lane. That's a Sunday, and so we'll be heading over after worship in the afternoon to Hershey Park. December 19th, we've already mentioned this, but our family event for that month will be our children's Christmas pageant. So that will be in the morning on December 19th. And in the evening, we're going to be having our live nativity that we host every year. And this year, we'll probably try and get some hot chocolate and some refreshments and maybe some hand warmers for our helpers as well. We're also bringing back this fall all of our weekly programming. So you see Wednesdays at 10, we have preschool playgroup. Thursdays at 6:30, we're bringing back our elementary Zoom devotional calls. So those were a big hit last year, and we're keeping those and bringing on the elementary power hour. So that will be the first Thursday, and the rest will be calls at 6:30 on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th Thursdays of the month, however many we have. Now, finally, youth programs, okay? So you see here on the left of our screen all of our youth programs. September 17th, we're starting something called Fifth Quarter. So we'll be going to the football game and opening the church up after the football game till midnight for our youth to come have snacks, hang out, play video games, just socialize. I'll be here. We'll have adult leaders here as well to supervise all of that happening. Now, on the 19th, I'm also going to a corn maze with our youth and with the youth from St. John's Abbottstown. So we're going to be partnering with that congregation just down the road, town over, to do some of our youth events in hopes of growing together and building some relationships across the congregation. So October the 1st, we're having another Fifth Quarter. And October 10th and 11th, that is a Sunday and a Monday night. Spring Grove does not have school that Monday. They are off. We are going to have a joint lock-in here at St. Paul's, and St. John's Youth is going to come too, and we're going to be doing the Greater York Area Crop Walk and then having a trip to the arcade downtown in York City afterwards. November 7th, we're going to be taking a trip to Camp Nawakwa and doing some hiking and some worship. And finally, December 17th, 18th, that's going to be sort of our end of the year, just St. Paul Youth lock-in. We'll be doing some caroling, have some gift exchange, games, all that fun stuff, and probably limited amounts of sleep. So, that's our fall ministry plan here at St. Paul. We're going to have a lot of ways for you and your family to plug in, a lot of ways for our children and adults to grow in their faith. And so please stay tuned. Stay tuned. Give us a follow and a subscribe on YouTube or on any of our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, and we also have created a Remind class that I will be using to send out reminders of all of the stuff that we have going on to parents. So please do follow us. You can also stop by the church office during our office hours, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 1. And you are more than welcome to shoot Pastor Allison or myself a phone call or an email. I'm not going to put those out on the internet, but you can check out our church website or stop by on Sunday morning if you need to reach us that way. And so that's all I've got for us today. Stay tuned for more information, and we are looking forward to a wonderful fall together. Blessings. See ya.